Twitter, Elon Musk, the scum. By the way, this is the scum of Silicon Valley. You got Zuckerberg. You see what Zuckerberg deal to steal the election? You see 2,000 Mules, everything they've done there. And now you see this in the suppression. They're your betters. They're the oligarchs, where the oligarchs are getting destroyed. And we're not even in charge yet. Darren Beattie.
Well, I love to see it. I mean, my first place outcome would have been Elon successfully taking over Twitter. Looks like that might not happen. Maybe it will. But in any case, I totally embrace the chaos that he's created. You're right. He's exposing Twitter as a total sham in terms of the bot networks. It seems like, the only bots they care about are falsely identified Russian bots. They just blame that. Anything that opposes their views, they blame on Russian bots. Well, and this gets to the article we're going to talk about. They allow U.S. intel associated influence ops to run roughshod throughout Twitter. And that's really its principal purpose at this point. It's an open playground for intel connected influence operators.
Whoa. I said this and you gave me the eye roll. Now, I love you like a brother, but you gave me the eye roll about 2 months ago. I said it's not a company. It's just an apparatus they use for our suppression. And for this, and now your article, they tell people about this article. You're just going to give us a taste because I want everybody to read it tonight. And we're going to get into it in depth tomorrow morning. But tell us what you found out about. This is what Twitter and these social media things are. They're means and controls. And this is not a bunch of kooks with propellers on their heads running around. He's got the receipts. And now you can see you can't believe anything they say. First off, how do they even support it? It's not a company. It's not a company. They've lied about everything. Do you understand? If you had 5% bots and you reported that, if you had maybe 6% bots, that would be horrible. That would be horrible. How did you let that happen? It's 20%. He says 80%. That means phony. And he does the math right there. You know, he's had the biggest tweet in history, right? He does the math right there for you because, he's like Edison. Darren Beattie, what'd you find out? What is Twitter really used for and who's really financing it?
You're absolutely right. Twitter is not a company, but it's more than a company. It's ground zero for intel-connected influence operations. And as it turns out, there was an explosive leak just a couple years ago that was one of the most suppressed stories in the history of media. It really amounts to a Snowden-level leak for the disinformation operation age, how it all came to be. And that is this group called the Integrity Initiative, which are these clusters of academics, journalists, and so forth who operate secretly in order to conduct influence operations on behalf of the UK government, NATO, and the US government. And guess whose name appeared as part of those leaks years ago that was completely covered up? None other than Nina Yankovic, who is now the head of the Department of Homeland Security's Disinformation Governance Board. This is a huge piece. We need to revive these leaks that were totally silenced and suppressed years ago because only now do we know just how important they are.
Okay, I'm going to let you punch because I don't want to give too much away. This is explosive. Once again, it's Revolver. These big, meaningful pieces they do. Takes them a while to put together, but man, did they pack a punch. Tomorrow we're going to go in depth of it. But this whole Twitter thing we're going to get to the bottom of because it's quite important for our freedom going forward to understand exactly where your tax money's going. What's happening here to suppress your own voice? Darren, how can people, we've got it up on the site and we're putting it up in all the chat rooms, but where do people go for Revolver? How do they get it? Your homework assignment, ladies and gentlemen, is to read this. We're going to discuss it tomorrow morning in depth. How do they get to you?
This is one of the biggest, most important stories of the year, revolver.news. It's right on the top. If you want to understand what you're up against, the influence and psychological warfare component of the domestic war on terror, you need to know about the Integrity Initiative. Go to revolver.news right now, read it, and we'll give you more of the details tomorrow morning.
Okay, this is a big piece. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.